What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wheel Talk. So, for week 3 of the $1,000 challenge, I ended up not completing that challenge. It was kind of a busy weekend, and I started late on a Tuesday. And so by the time the weekend rolled around, I was already caught up with things. It was my birthday weekend and Valentine's. And the thing is, on Valentine's, I seen the surge go up to $20 for one ride. If you were in that area, you probably made a lot of money. But I didn't drive because I had work on Friday, and then I went in on Saturday to do an experiment that I needed to do. So yeah, I didn't have to go in, but I wanted to go in, and I'm glad that I did. I took my kids. And then we got they have these small little offices, and there's one right next to the lab where I work, and I just set them up with a movie, and I'd go into the lab for 5-10 minutes and then come out for because in between my experiments there's long waiting periods, like an hour or 2 hours. So they were just hanging out, drawing, eating snacks. And so that's what I did on Saturday. And then Sunday was my birthday, so I kind of just relaxed on Sunday. But what I did on Saturday was, because my tax money hit early for the California refund, and what I did was I was already looking online for a catalytic converter, because I figured I need to start using the Prius ASAP, so that I make my time driving for Uber and Lyft more worth it. Because right now, when I make $1,000 driving the minivan, it's I made $1,000, but I spent probably $200 in expenses, which is $800 in cash that I'm taking. Maybe even sometimes $750. Usually $800. I don't think it's really $750, because usually I spend $160 on gas, and then my expenses for food are pretty low. But if I drive the Prius, I'm pretty much doubling my miles per gallon. So I would expect my expenses for gas to be $80. So then I'm making $900, which is a lot better. And then I can still sleep in my Prius. And I'll show you a tour of my Prius once I set it up, because I used to have window reflectix on this Prius, but I think I ended up reusing them for a different vehicle, because I wasn't using the Prius as a camper, and so I decided to use those reflectix. But basically now I'm going to remake them from scratch and then put the fleece on both sides. I might record that. But on Saturday, what happened was, before I went into work, I found someone in the city near me at a auto dismantler that was selling a catalytic converter from a car that had flipped for $700. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I hit them up. They have bad customer service. They took a long time. The guy had told me they already had the part pulled, and they didn't. And so I ended up spending 2 hours there just to get that part, but whatever. And then come to find out, because what happened was my catalytic converter had gotten stolen a year and a half ago. And what I did for the meantime, because I didn't need a smog, because in California you need a smog every other year. So what I did was I got an eBay catalytic converter. I knew the check engine light would go on, but I got one of those temporarily. And I asked the shop to weld it for me, and so they welded it on. But when they welded it, they cut off the pipe that had the flange that connects to the muffler. So it goes engine, catalytic converter, muffler. And so because they cut that off and welded it, which makes sense because they need to cut that off to mend the two pipes together. But then that means that when you get a factory catalytic converter, it doesn't just bolt on because I was going to do that work myself on my birthday, and so I had taken off. I have a catalytic converter shield to protect it from getting stolen. I removed that shield, and then I was like, wait. I was like looking under my vehicle, and I was like, I don't see where this bolts. And then I seen the weld, and I was like, dang it. So I had two options at that point. I could either call the auto dismantler and ask him how much for that muffler from the Prius that flipped, and he might charge me like $100 to $150 for that, trying to rip me off. Or I could go back to that welder and ask them to weld my current catalytic converter to the rest of the pipe. And I like the person who does the welding for me. It's a small business and a lot better customer service. But what he told me is that it's illegal for an auto dismantler to even sell the catalytic converters from cars that's flipped. So I think it's super illegal, and it's even illegal for him to weld those on. But he was helping me out. He charged me $175 because the threads on the O2 sensor for the catalytic converter were stripped, so he had to weld in a new nut. Or otherwise it would have been $140. But either way, and then you got to think about it too. I don't have to like struggle to install the catalytic converter. It's a lot easier if you have a lift. I mean, I could have done it, but it would have been it wouldn't have been that hard, but I could have done it. But I did pay $140, and I got it all. It's all done, you know. I don't have to install it. I know it's installed right. And yeah, so basically I paid $875 for a new catalytic converter. And he told me that the check engine light had went off, and I was like, oh, cool. But I forgot to tell him that what I did, because I was tired of looking at my check engine light, is I just put a piece of electrical tape so you couldn't see the light. So it actually didn't come off. But you have to, like, your car has to go through drive cycles, so you have to drive like 70 to 100 miles. And I did that yesterday and today, driving to work and back home, and now I'm driving to work right now on Tuesday. And my check engine light just came off, which is cool. So the check engine light came off. I still have a tire warning sign for like low tire pressure, but I had checked that previously, and I don't know why the tire pressure is oh shit, no, did I go the wrong way? Hold on. Yeah, I ended up taking the wrong exit. I was getting towards the Bay Bridge, and yeah, I took the wrong exit, but it actually saved me some time, which is kind of funny. But basically, I got a new catalytic converter, a new to me used catalytic converter from a pick and pull. So this is a real catalytic converter, and I'm not having the issues. My check engine light just came off, so I'm sorry, there's a lot of traffic right now. I'm actually getting onto the Bay Bridge, so this is the toll plaza, I guess you'd call it. And the traffic's not too bad right now. I have a meeting with my boss when I get into work, and I think we're going to be going over bonuses. But I'm trying to be there on time. Anyways, yeah, so now that my check engine light has come off, I could get the smog, because what I did was, so I don't have fees charged, my smog was due in January. I paid the registration, but it's incomplete because I didn't get the smog. Once I get the smog, then it'll be a complete registration. And I was actually looking at my I got an email while I was driving to work today, and it said that I got kicked off the Uber app, which that sucks. They said I was trying to make false claims about who I was. I don't know why they said that, but I'm not worried about it. It should probably take a day or two, but I'm not worried about it because I'm actually I might not drive this week because I have a lot going on at work, and I still need to get the Prius ready. I need to do the window covers. I got this like camping pad. It's an inflatable. Supposedly it's self-inflating. It's a self-inflating mattress, but it doesn't really self-inflate. You just blow into it a couple times, and it inflates. And it's actually pretty comfortable compared to like when I was sleeping in the floor in the minivan. Like, you don't feel the ground. Like, your hips don't hurt from feeling the ground. So that's good. I'll use that in the Prius because it's more compact. So basically, I'm downsizing or becoming more of a minimalist with my camper setup. Now I almost feel like the minivan's too big, but that's why I said it in a previous video. You gotta just start with what you have, see what works for you, and then make your decisions from there.